I'd like to present to you a commentary on the meditation from Archangel Michael called Equation. And this particular lecture is quite some time ago, but I remember it distinctly because the concept stayed in my mind as I found it quite interesting. It's not very long, it's compact, but it's filled with some truly significant insights that Michael brings to us about the nature not only of our existence, but the existence of every soul within creation. So, I hope you enjoy this. And Michael says, I am Michael, and I come as one who is archangelic by nature. We expand into love at this time. Bring your focus to the energies that inflate you and that which is my presence itself an elevation this day, and come into your cosmic awareness. Your temple is with us and all who come to her. As you breathe, I breathe with you. We feel the universe turning beneath us, while we ourselves remain in stillness. Call forth that which you desire, and take note of what journeys to you. There is a sequence to existence. It is not time that I speak of. There is a sequence, and this sequence is important, yet is not perceived in linear form. There is a sequence, then, to your experiences within your temple, it being the context within which your soul has given you, within which to expand. Well, the masters and archangels tend to have a fairly formulaic way of beginning their meditations, and that is to gently and beautifully guide us into a slightly altered state of consciousness. And they do this by encouraging us to elevate, to expand, to come into the breath being symbolic for the life force and the creator. And Michael continues this process in his opening words. But then he leads us straight into the concept that he wishes to discuss in this particular discourse. And that, of course, is the idea of sequencing, and in particular, the sequencing of our existence. So Michael further explains the concept of a sequence within the analogy of being an equation. And he says, the sequence of which I speak is less a journey or unfoldment, and more so like an equation, for its parts combine to reveal a formula. Existence for each, then, may be viewed in these terms. An equation is the means by which one may arrive at an answer, a precise meaning. And these words are not literal, so I direct understanding towards you. Again I say, your existence is an equation, a sequence. In your mathematical terms, equations are a means by which life and its properties are calculated, and by which mysteries may be unravelled and then put to purpose. And more than this, particularly within your physical realm, it is a means by which one may build all forms of manifestation. It solves, gives answers, opens doorways to the next equation, and so on. These are the experiences of human science, and that is the barest and most superficial use and understanding of what parallels a greater, profound meaning, which goes beyond the mind and the use of science. Each is an equation. Your existence has, is, and shall give rise to a particular meaning, a divine solution and revelation. So Michael launches into the idea of our existence being a formula, an equation, and he uses the symbolism of science, of course, because that's our interpretation of what an equation actually is. And I like this concept. At first, I didn't warm to it. Then I realized that he is saying something deeply profound and is trying to use words, human language, really to describe something that's probably indescribable. So there is a feeling that comes with these words, and I encourage you to go to the original recording on my website, seek it out, go into this meditation, listen to Michael's explanation, and a download of meaning hopefully will form within you. So as he says, we approach formulas and equations through science and mathematics. But we understand, particularly in the 21st century, that both science and mathematics is now leaning toward unraveling marvelous mysteries of the universe and the nature of existence itself. And in my opinion, it's increasingly confirming what we as spiritual people already know and understand. So, to me, that last statement from Michael is the most important, where Michael says, each is an equation. Your existence has, is, and shall give rise to a particular meaning, a divine solution and revelation. And that's really exciting to me. So often for us here in human form, in a physical dimension, we wonder what life is all about and what purpose we ourselves have within existence. It's a common question that's put to me as a spiritual teacher and a channel, such as, what is my purpose? What is my mission? And what am I doing here? And the masters, firstly, have always said, in response to these questions, that to exist is already to have fulfilled your purpose. But of course, we as humans want something practical and meaningful to do with our lives. Understanding that even taking a breath is meaningful can bring us a great sense of ease and grace, where we don't have to place expectations upon ourselves or burden ourselves with needing to acquire some sort of enlightenment. And the reason for this is exactly what Michael is saying. The fact that we exist means that we are an equation that divinity is bringing into creation. And as Michael said, an equation or formula is about bringing answers, solving things, bringing something into being, answering a question that was posed. So let's have a look at it now. The sequence of your existence is uniquely yours. There is a riddle that this solves. Words are insufficient and far from the greater truth. You are held within the higher spectrum so that you may deepen into an awareness of the greater mystery at work. So then these words only skim the surface. The mind need not understand in literal terms, and any logical approach is a barrier. You are an answer unfolding. It is not yours to seek, for God seeks it through you. Feel this. Perhaps a sense of wonder begins to form within you, and you glimpse the profoundness of your existence. Although it's a very short and concise paragraph, Michael does give us an important answer or clue to the formula of our existence. And that clue is to be found in this particular statement, where he says, "You are an answer unfolding. It is not yours to seek, for God seeks it through you." So, just as being in existence fulfills our purpose, it also fulfills the divine purpose. And it's interesting that Michael says the answer that our existence brings isn't ours to seek. God seeks it through us. And on the surface of things, that may seem diminishing of us, that we're not actually able to claim this answer, that we are, to the question that God posed in bringing us into being. But for me, I sense that that's irrelevant. And I take great heart and almost a sense of relief that I don't need to solve the riddle of why I exist, because divinity is doing that for me. And we know that we're continually being guided by our spiritual guides and teachers, our soul awareness that forms intuition. And above all that, there is something that has been planned or mapped out, a formula of our existence. And that's what divinity brings into play and orchestrates. We don't have to do it. We don't have to conceive of it because it's beyond our conception. All we need to do is trust and have faith that what divinity has planned for our existence can only be astonishing. So then, while we are in human form, in a human world, we still have the sense that we wish to find fulfillment in this particular incarnation. We want to bring meaning into our lives, and that's absolutely valid and perfect. That's what human beings do. In the greater scheme of things, our soul does this as well. But the soul's focus is purely on divinity. Our soul will always seek out a new experience of the divine. And as we tend to view divinity as love and the source of all love, then our soul seeks a newness in love. And part of our coming into the human experience with physical form is to experience love in a very unique way that only physical existence can offer. So I say to you, in terms of what it is you're meant to do in this lifetime, then follow the compass of your intuition, and anything that leads to love and expands upon it and generates it, it's always a fantastic starting point. So let's move along to the next paragraph. Michael says, "Though my words seem serious and the energies hang heavily, it is light that we bring and light which enfolds us. We know light to be love in tangible form. We whom are of the angelic principle are blessed, for we perceive what it is that you bring to creation and how you have written upon life's page, providing completion to the greatest quest of all. I come as Michael, but you know me to be of the one angelic mind. I see how you fit perfectly into the greater equation of this existence, this realm of creation, these holographic universes, and this thought form. It is your soul's joy. Become a fountain from which others may drink. As you fill, so shall you replenish others. So simple. The universe moves beneath us, and we feel its motion. I am Michael, and we are love. Adonai." So Michael rounds off this fairly brief discourse or meditation, and he says that even though his words seem serious, there is a lightness to them. This can seem often the case, particularly with the older recordings, which form part of the Melchizedek University, the channeling that I've done. They were very much lectures giving esoteric, metaphysical, and spiritual insights and information on many topics. And to the human mind, they can seem sometimes abstract, perhaps bogged down in very esoteric detail. But the spirit of them is lightness itself. And it's only because the masters and angels have to use language to impart these things to us in these recorded meditations that it can seem to be serious. Once you experience the energies that come through with the words, then those energies are always uplifting and expansive. And as he says, light. There is a lightness to it. Remember that they don't necessarily always share what they consider to be truth, because truth to the ascended masters and archangels is irrelevant, as they understand that consciousness is continually expanding, that thoughts and ideas ebb and flow within our consciousness at the highest point. And therefore, narrowing something down to a singular piece of truth to them is a complete limitation. Yet they will bring us ideas and insights that help us to expand in the moment and to go beyond where we've been before. And I feel that this is one of those discourses, one of those meditations. So I find it interesting that an archangel such as Michael, a very powerful archangel, would summarize every soul's existence as a formula, an equation, and that formula is unique to us. It is unfolding, as he said, as our soul continues to journey and explore within creation what it is that the divine is seeking through us and continues to unfold. And I find that really exciting. A formula also, as he said, is a doorway to other equations. That is to say, once a mathematician or a scientist solves one particular equation, then it opens the way to the next equation, which builds upon what has gone before, but what wasn't possible until all of the prior science had been done. So we are literally building creation through who we are, and we're building the future of creation. We are co-creating, but the plan has been set in motion by divinity. And we are the plan. We are a living formula. There's a sequence to how our lives in all dimensions are playing out. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this particular discourse. And I'm Soltec from Australia. Thanks for joining me.